It's May 18th, 2020. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Matt Morgan and Raj Giri. Going to talk about Monday Night Raw. Raj, why don't you open with the very sad news?
Yeah, so former WWE star Shad Gaspard, he was very famously in the Crime Time tag team. He went missing during a swim at Venice Beach in California on Sunday while he was out with his 10-year-old son. He was apparently in a group of swimmers along with his son when a strong rip current hit at around 4 p.m. local time. Lifeguards raced into the water to pull everyone out, and while Shad's son was rescued, Shad himself has not been located. And Shad apparently was yelling at them to get his son before him. And so there was a search going on. The LA Fire Department believed that Gaspard did submerge in the water, and divers were sent to scour the area, and helicopters were searching from above. They continued the search today, and to no avail. He has not been located. And I guess one witness at the scene told TMZ that Gaspard had directed rescuers to help his son first. When lifeguards raced into the ocean, which they did during the rescue, another large wave came and crashed down on Shad. And that was the last time he was seen. So just a terrible story. And yeah, it's really sad.
Matt, I know you just found out this information shortly before we went on the air. I know you're still processing a lot of this. I mean, you've known Shad since your season of Tough Enough, correct?
Yeah, it's 2001. Oftentimes when things happen, whether it's in the business or not in the business, everybody, I hate saying this, call it like I say, comes out of the woodworks and acts like they're this person's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So well, and oh my God, how could this happen? And while that's true, they should be saying things like that. Oh my God, how could this happen? It creates a sense of cynicism. Unfortunately, and this is one of the first ones. I'll be honest, for me personally, that legit. I just told you before we went on the air. This is easily. I was in his wedding. Like this is one of my best friends, easily. Not in the business, outside the business, that kept in contact with besides right out once we left wrestling. The first people to congratulate me when I got elected. I didn't even know he was following that along. He didn't know I was following him along with his acting career, and congratulated him on his big breaks he's got. Shad lived on my couch for the better part of a year after Tough Enough 2 finished. He wasn't able to pass through because something with his heart. During his initial audition for Tough Enough, he was supposed to be in the show on the episode in the house with us, living with us, and being one of the participants and contestants. And he had something like some rhythm thing in his heart that made them not be able to move him on with us to the show. So once the show wrapped, I got signed to a town. What do you call it? Can't even talk. I'm so sorry. My wife just shared this with me all 5 minutes ago. And a contract in OVW. I helped Shad get a tryout with Cornette and everyone in OVW. They were having a tryout camp. And I talked to them about Shad. I was like, this guy's like the African American version. Like, both basketball players, both from the East Coast, both have the same morals, both are so goddamn similar. It's not even funny. We always used to make that joke with each other. Um, brothers from a different mother. And so he got signed to a deal. He had nowhere to stay. He stayed on my couch for the better part of a year. Almost burned my house down a couple times trying to cook his steaks. I'll never forget it in our kitchen. And my wife going, Matt, when you can tell your friend this is just not working. I was like, he ain't going nowhere. He's staying here. There's nowhere else to go. This is our boy. He's staying here. He broke my PlayStation. He I just, oh my God, I hate this. I don't even know what to make of it. I don't even know what to make of it. So many questions, obviously. And I don't mean what I said earlier as attack on anybody, by the way. I've always always seen that on social media. You know, when somebody that we, a coworker, or somebody that wrestled like in a generation from us that passed away, whatever, all of a sudden, that's their best friend. So, like, where the freak were you when that dude, you know, was out of work and looking for help? Did you help? Did you that this? I mean, everybody. And I just can't process, honestly. And just an amazing human being. I know everyone says that about people when they pass or whatnot, but this dude different in this regard. It called him Beast. But I'd encourage everybody to go back and watch his initial Tough Enough audition and listen to him talk. It got him outside bouncing like at a nightclub trying to portray him as this big tough guy. He says a really pivotal statement as to who he is as a human being. That's this guy with a heart size that's bigger than he is tall, of being a protector of others. He's not a bully, never a bully, but always stood up for people smaller than him. It would be like almost a bully up where he grew up in New York. And just, again, the biggest heart. Get the shirt off his back for anybody. Hilarious. Funniest kid in every room he went into. There wasn't one person that I've ever been around in wrestling that had a bad word to say about him. That's so rare in wrestling. Somebody always has something to say, oh, they suck, they're stiff, something stupid like that. Not with him. He was loved by everybody and really liked, very well liked, life of the party. And again, he was always looking for ways to help other people, legitimately, always, and give support. He was such a positive person. And again, he's a brother from a different mother, honest to God. And it was cool, I can say, book got to live out our childhood dreams, both as good Lord 20, early 20s, into, you know, my 40s. So I've known, been close, tight friends with this man for weeks. And it sucks because this really close. This is just some former colleague that I saw in passing, you know, one day backstage. This was someone that, again, I loved to death.
Man, yeah, it's obviously really tragic. His wife, Selenia, was out there today while they were doing the search, just sitting at the beach, watching. So we'll keep you updated, but yeah, it's his family did issue a statement. They said the family appreciates all the love, support, and concern through this horrible ordeal. At this time, they're not ready to make any public or official statements to any media outlet and ask all to respect their wishes. Yeah. Yeah, it's a terrible thing. Shad always, he always had the look, the charisma. Always was surprised that he also was very successful going into movies, and he had did stunt work with movies like Black Panther and things like that. But I was surprised WWE didn't pick him back up.
He had a great role. He was really big into acting, and then got really hooked into the bodybuilding. It's crazy. I'm telling you, we were doing it on two different coasts and having the same likes at the same time. Wrestling, we did a post, both of us did, last year on Instagram. Maybe we can look this up, where he posted this montage picture of me and him on Tough Enough 2001, my fat, chubby face, head, chubby body, and him. It was like a beanpole, all right? And then pictures of me and him today with our kids. Oh my God. Just go back and talk.
No, I know, man. I mean, I'm like, this is tragic what happened, and I'm so sorry you learned about this right before we went on the air. And look, I appreciate everything you're sharing here. I mean, just seeing you go through this, given how close you were. I mean, I think everyone completely stands if you want to, if you want to take a bit or not even talk. I mean, I'm sorry, Raj. Raw just, I mean, this just seems stupid to talk about. I don't care about Monday Night Raw. I don't care about any of this shit. Like, I'm sitting here. No, I'm seriously, Matt. I'm sitting here watching you, Matt Morgan, one of my closest friends, talking about a friend he's known this long and the loss of him, someone that died, presumably tragically saving their child. And it's just like it just seems, everything else seems silly. Given everything else going on in the world right now, this just further underscores it. And
and I apologize. I made the decision to come, so I do apologize. And this is no different. I'm no different than many other wrestlers that have had.
Matt, I'm so sorry, Matt. I hate to say this, but your mic just keeps cutting out, and
it was cutting out. It's a little quiet there. Are those different AirPods than what you normally use?
Of course they are.
Yeah, we're not able to hear about like just pieces.
It was just a little quiet.
Do you want to try reconnecting? Reconnecting, reclicking on the link, or
Raj, this is tough. This is
yeah. I mean, it's I mean, what can you say? There's this side of me that keeps hoping for a miracle. He hasn't been found. Like maybe he was, I don't know, just always hoping. Gosh, this is, I guess, even more bad news of a wrestling journalist, Larry Kazanka. He was with 411 Mania, and he also passed away. He had just tweeted the other day about how he was feeling like crap and didn't get anything done that day. He's really known for his reviews and the work that he's done over there, just writing tons and tons of articles. Me and him both started in the 90s. I've only had a few communications with him over email, always pleasant. But our condolences to Larry's family and friends as well. All right.
We have some. While Matt's doing that,
sure. Leonza Duncan with the $5 super chat saying, as an African American man, they always love their gimmick. Shad may not get in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he is in the People's Hall of Fame. Money, yeah.
I think wasn't. Yeah, there's another one, right?
Yeah, Leonza Duncan saying, I was a huge Crime Time fan. I don't care what anyone says. They should have been tag champs. They were super over in a time when no tag team was. And yeah, I mean, there was a time there when they were kind of like teasing pairing them up with Cena, with Crime Time and Cena, and they're calling themselves the CTC on one episode of Raw, and then it kind of got dropped. But yeah. And more tomorrow night. The Vice documentary on Owen Hart airs.
Oh,
and fun. Martha Hart has been doing a lot of media. She really, she was all through all this time. She hasn't really said much. She had the lawsuit against WWE that was settled out of court. She appeared on Chris Jericho's podcast to talk about it. And yeah, she. Also, in an interview with The Wrap, she talked about her relationship with Bret Hart, how it fell apart, and then Bret replied and saying he's not interested in engaging in any more media mudslinging between Martha and myself, especially in light of a global pandemic. I will say that our fallout is multifaceted. To say that it only involved being able to access and use my WWE footage and photos for future projects would merely be an oversimplification and inaccurate. I will not comment any further on this matter. So, Martha's in the headlines, and the Owen Hart season finale of Dark Side of the Ring airs tomorrow night. All right. Well, yeah. Let's get to Raw. What were you guys' thoughts on the show?
By the way, they were tag team champions. Whoever said they weren't, they were tag team champions.
Did they?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That was one of his posts he made. He actually has me wearing my TNA Tag Team Championship title with him wearing his WWE Tag Team Championship title in the same photo. Which I was like, dude, they're not the same thing.
Well, they were tag champs in OVW. Maybe that's, and they were NWA Wildside Tag Champions. Yeah.
I'll send you the photo, bro. I'll text it.
So yeah, Raw tonight. Real quick, Matt, your thoughts?
I think Matt's changing his headphones.
Okay, Glenn, your thoughts?
Yeah, tonight felt like a lot of the last Raws. Not every, when's the last time WWE went to Ren Fair for an episode? I think, sadly, that was one of the high points of the show, the axe throwing contest. I don't know. It was a tough watch tonight, just because a lot didn't happen, and I think they're still talking about this Becky news, which kind of shows just how much of a void there is without her in the company. I don't know. I mean, I know this sounds weird, someone who's been very critical of Brock Lesnar, but does Drew and even Seth and all this other stuff, I mean, it doesn't feel as big. Drew's championship, Seth at the top. It doesn't feel equal to what we're missing with Brock not being there. And I'm not even a huge Brock fan, so I don't know. Thought it was a tough watch.
Matt, your thoughts?
How about right now? How do I sound?
Yes, now I hear you.
Now we can hear you.
Now we can hear you.
Not good?
No.
Good.
What are my thoughts on what?
On Raw tonight.
On Raw.
Awesome. This was 2 thumbs up tonight.
Right.
No, honestly, I'll just be honest with all the fans right now. I could watch. I don't even know I don't have a good analogy for this right now. I was hoping it would distract, at least a little bit of it. But my wife kind of interrupted and shared with me what she did. I just come out of my commission. I've been getting ready for my commission meeting since yesterday, today, and then my meeting was at 6. I got out of it probably like 8 or 8:30, and then went right to home, eat pizza with my son, watch Raw, and then she came in the room to tell me what's up, and with about 45 minutes left in the show, so it's all gonna be, I'll just be honest, a blur the last 45.
Yeah,
but. Again, it's just more of the same. From what I did see up in hour 15 of it, it's more of the same. There's still more of the same.
Yeah, I think, Glenn, to your point, I found it, this 3 hours was kind of hard for me to sit through. I was just really bored by the end. There wasn't much that really was interesting. I thought, I like that they're going with Lashley and Drew. I like that what they're doing with Lashley, but and Edge is always great in his promos. I thought he had a great one, but outside of that, I thought the rest of the show was blah.
And no matter listen to me, no matter who they have in that ring wrestling a match, it won't matter. Mm-hmm. It's their fault, but it's not their fault. Mm-hmm. It's not their fault as far as the talents and the stories they're telling in the ring goes, because they're doing what they're supposed to do. But not having those fans there absolutely kills it. And it makes it feel small. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't matter who's in that ring. It could be John Cena versus Hulk Hogan tomorrow. Right. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to have the same feel to it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And they're not doing anything to change the
presentation. It makes it feel like Groundhog Day because of this. It makes every match aesthetically feel the same.
I think this performance center is going to starting to turn into my symbol of this, this pandemic in a weird way, like the empty performance center shows, and I think I'm going to be, I'm just going to have a newfound hatred for it next year, or whenever we're out of this.
You're not the only person to say that. I've had people on Twitter say that they're gonna, for what everybody's been impacted from this virus differently. And people are going to remember what they're going to remember from this. But a lot of people on my Twitter said that that's what they're fearful that they're going to not take away, but one of the things that they're going to remember about this virus is arena matches how terrible wrestling was. Glenn, yes, I know. I swear, though, this is what they've written.
Well,
And to each their own
yeah.
of where we go with our minds on what we remember things with.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me like so they went through all that trouble to set up that Viking village, the little Viking fair for the axe throwing contest. Why not have the wrestling there?
Yes.
Yeah. At least, yeah.
I don't have an answer, and I said the same darn thing to myself. I said, self, why couldn't they use just a modicum of the creativity and just have a different place to have this match? This would be perfect.
Yeah, do it outdoors.
Again, yes, anywhere.
Yeah, if they can't have wrestlers in the crowd because of it's being indoors, because AEW, they've been filming at Daly's place, but that's an outdoor arena, so I don't know if they're able to have people in the stands because of that.
Yeah,
but man, yeah, do it outside. Set up something outside so you could have people in the stands to make some noise, because it's tough.
Yeah.
All right, Glenn, you want to start running through this?
Changing this?
What's that?
Have they said anything about changing this yet?
Well, apparently Vince McMahon is determined to have SummerSlam in front of fans. So it's most likely not going to be in Boston. They've even talked about possibly moving it to September. But he is apparently hell bent on having SummerSlam in front of a crowd.
Our governor is inviting all sports teams to our state to play their games.
Yeah.
So I think if WWE finds a state where they'll allow people in the arena, they'll probably go there. But allowing fans, they're not allowing fans in the stands yet, though, right?
Not fans, not like what you would expect. No.
Right. But I think Vince is.
Caveat is again empty.
What's that? Yeah, with no fans.
It's empty arenas.
Yeah.
Vince is what you're gonna say?
But Vince wants actual fans, not wrestlers in the stands.
But here's what I don't get, though. Okay, so they put in all that time, effort, and energy with the axe throwing contest and the actors as the police and all those jokes. Like, that was all the creativity on the show tonight. Like, Matt, to your point, I agree about the no fans thing makes everything feel small and lesser. But if they did some interesting stories, if there was just something going on that made it seem like they were trying a little bit, I felt like almost everything we saw tonight sounded like it could have been cut and pasted from something we've seen before, like a promo, the storyline. It just all felt recycled, and it felt like the axe throwing contest was the one thing where they were like, "No, we've got some real creative juice behind this. Let's go for it."
I didn't think the axe throwing contest was that creative either.
But at least they tried something.
It was different.
Yeah,
it was different.
I kept expecting, I guess, more from when the cops came, as opposed to, "Oh, you're cute, so I'm letting you off."
No, that was dumb.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to Edge's promo.
So Randy Orton was out there, a straight up wrestling match at Backlash.
They keep saying that this could be the greatest wrestling match of all time. It's their tagline.
What are they supposed to say? What are they supposed to say?
Not that. That setting. First of all, I don't think you can have the greatest wrestling match in an empty arena.
Can we have should it be the greatest catch-as-can wrestling match of all time? Like, what do you want it to be? The greatest chain wrestling match of all time? I mean, because they're taking the weakness, which is having to have basic matches in front of nobody inside that wrestling ring, and trying to make it seem like a bigger deal when nobody's buying.
I mean, yeah, can any match potentially could be the greatest wrestling match of all time?
No, I'm being so serious about that.
Yeah, no, I know.
You give Daniel Bryan wrestle AJ Styles 10 times in a row, I don't care. It's not going to be great because there's no fans in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible Trey 89. Thanks for the $9.99 super chat. Was saying Edge was passionate in his promo tonight, and I think he's better on the mic than he's ever been. But he's been away for a decade, and I'm ready to see him in the ring with younger guys. I'm sure that's where it's headed. But yeah, I thought Edge was fantastic here. I think his promos, he might be the best promo in the company right now.
Wow.
You know who's a really good promo that I'm watching again right now is heel Undertaker. When he was still coming out on his motorcycle, when NWO first came into WWE again with Hogan, Nash, and Hall, and he was a heel. Taker's promos were good, dude. He lit up The Rock and like embarrassed The Rock in a promo actually. And dude, his promos, nobody talks about him because they always talk about the dead man. But dude, his promos were freaking really good, really, really good.
Yeah.
Very underrated.
I thought.
But anyways, go ahead.
I was gonna say Taker's smack talk during the AJ Styles during that Boneyard match was just fantastic. You know.
Yeah.
He was very. I was saying this documentary that they have. He's turned into Clint Eastwood. Like he's gone from Jason Voorhees over the last 30 years to Clint Eastwood. He's just, this, veteran badass that, just the old gunslinger.
But the fact I saw the second episode of his series on the network last night, and just his vulnerability that he shares, I am shocked.
Yeah,
absolutely was shocked watching.
Yeah,
it's great, so great.
There's a cool moment.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent.
No, absolutely. Silver Jackson agreeing with you, saying Undertaker 2002 promos were epic.
Yes, Silver Jackson, they were. Nobody talks about his promos. I'm telling you, he out-talked The Rock in a promo. I was like, how do I not remember this? He totally just big-dogged The Rock, and Rock had nothing for him. When Rock was, I'm not joking, was damn near at his hottest. Dude, he was, wow. And then he just cut a promo on Hogan. I just saw it today. Like, I'm watching them all the episodes.
Yeah, it's really good. So Randy Orton basically asking if Edge is going to accept. Edge does. I don't know. Was there anything else related to this?
I listen to me. I agree with the reader. I do think like the thing with Randy was cool. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
He could cut these world beater promos on other talents, and I would like to see it with an AJ or others. Like the guy said, younger talent.
Right. Or a Drew. I mean, I feel like Seth is not. Seth doesn't feel as big of a star as he did before this Monday Night Messiah gimmick.
So maybe that would be good for him, right?
Yeah, I feel like he needs a big name. I mean, he did beat Brock, yes, but yeah, someone really to get his title ring going.
No, you're right. He's not as big as he was. This Messiah thing's taking him down, and Edge, he actually learned. That's the thing. When you get a chance to work a veteran, not because you want to mark out over the veteran, you do it because you want to do it because you know you're going to improve. Mm-hmm. My one match with Ric Flair at TNA, I swear to you, jumped my confidence like 16 steps. I'm not exaggerating.
Oh, I bet.
Especially on being able to calling a match on the fly on television when we had 5 minutes cut out right before we went out. Whereas before, I'd be a little tentative and I would listen to the other guy that had more experience than I would in those circumstances versus calling somebody off, which you don't do to be a jerk. You do it because you think what you have offers the best solution in the time. Anyways, my point is you do it because you know you're going to improve immensely. And Seth, oh my God, we improve immensely working with Edge, especially on the stick, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It could be better than what he has going on now. So Seth came out, cut a promo, was talking about Rey Mysterio, interrupted by Humberto Carrillo. Rather than wrestle him, he had Murphy wrestle Humberto, with Murphy picking up the win here. It was what it was.
Yeah, Can I just say something really quick?
No, go for it.
These talents, I mean, no offense. I'm not trying to bury these talents. I'm not. But I can't imagine any of them even getting dark matches back. I'm not even saying when I was there. I was a developmental, so I'm not saying during when I was there, because that doesn't count. But like the year 2000, 2001, 2002, I was just watching the show tonight going, the show I was watching today on Raw back circa 2002, Brock Lesnar opened it up versus Matt Hardy, rookie Brock Lesnar. All right, and like a Taker versus Hogan, replay of Triple H losing to Hogan for the title at the pay-per-view just previous, NWO bumping and feeding for Stone Cold and JBL when he was still Bradshaw, a tag match. Eddie Guerrero had just come back, and RVD. It was every single match was just freaking huge, and every star, more importantly, looked like they could kick somebody's ass in a fight. And they looked, I'm not just saying big and jacked, I don't mean it that way, but they looked, their face, everything, they looked like tough people. I could kick someone's butt. And I looked at tonight's episode, and I'm just like, that's where this drop off I really feel comes from. A lot of it does come from this is an aesthetic business. I'm not saying you have to be a big steroided up person. What I'm saying is you should look like you've been in a fight and you could kick a fan's butt. Yeah. And fans would be scared of you if they met you in a dark alley.
I agree 100%. I was making this point with someone recently regarding Angel Garza and Rick Rude. Is that the one thing with Rick Rude is he looked like he'd jack you up. You know, he had the pretty boy flamboyant gimmick, but he also looked like he would tear you to shreds. He had that intensity. And Angel Garza, I think he's a star in today's era. But yes, there's a huge difference between him and Rick Rude. You put them in a ring with each other, and yeah, it's
somebody compared Rick Rude to him to you?
Well, the characters, like the pretty boy, getting the kisses from women at ringside. It's like comparing
so here's the
like Carlito to Razor Ramon. It's not the same, even though they both spit in faces and stuff.
Of people who don't want to be cool?
Don't want to be cool, yeah. Justin Lopez saying he hopes we get Edge versus Seth at SummerSlam since they actually have some history. That's right. Seth was going to break Edge's neck when he was with the Authority that one time. And then John Cena had to sign the Authority, allow the Authority to come back. I don't know if you remember that whole storyline.
No.
Yeah. Basically, Cena's team won a Survivor Series match where Triple H and Stephanie McMahon had to leave forever. And just a few weeks later, they had an angle where Seth was going to cripple Edge, who was a guest that night, unless they took it back. And so then Triple H and Stephanie came back.
But they're not even doing... That's kind of the thing that gets what I was talking about earlier. They're not even doing stories like that anymore. It's this idea Seth is the Monday Night Messiah. He's going to seek out and find these followers. Like, where are the overarching themes? Like, what is Raw a show about right now?
Yeah. Michael Elvira saying Vince creates robots, not superstars today.
He's right. It's called paint by the numbers, build your own superstar. Yeah. He's 100% correct.
Everyone sounds the same. Everyone kind of works the same. I agree.
So Murphy won over Humberto Carrillo. We have Baron Corbin cut a promo backstage. So Corbin's there, part of this cross-brand invitational. Tonight was his turn to come over to Monday Night Raw. Pre-recorded message from Liv Morgan talking about her mom as her hero. This was an interesting promo.
This was good. I thought this hit, I thought, for her. It hit with me a little bit. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it started off, when it first started, I was like, what is this? And then by the end, I was like, that was pretty good. I think Liv has been seeing a big uptick. I think she's going to be holding a belt by the end of the year.
Hope so.
Let's hope so.
Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott tonight. Flair getting away.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
Flair getting the win. Listen, I don't see it in Ruby Riott either. I know she has her fans, but I don't know. I just don't care.
I agree with you. I really like Ruby.
I didn't care when they had the 3-person gimmick. It was always, what's it going to take for them to break Liv out of this? Because I keep hearing all this great stuff about Liv Morgan. And the big tall girl, I was like, Sarah Logan looks like she could kick someone's butt. Hopefully they get something cooler for her than the Bruiser Brody boots they had her wearing at the time, I remember.
Well, she was released.
Deferred.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going back when the 3 of them were a group of 3 is what I said.
Yeah.
And not once did I ever think to myself, this Ruby Riott's going to be a star. To me, she was the bottom of the 3.
She's a good wrestler in the ring. But I see what you mean as a star, as someone that's going to turn heads.
And you know what? To be a good hand in the women's division nowadays is not enough, because they are stacked.
Yeah,
stacked. I would put at least 8 talents on from NXT on before I would put Ruby Riott out there. I'm just being serious.
I actually think Ruby going back to NXT and letting her redevelop her character and giving her some autonomy, I think could I think because she's got the talent, she's even got a good look, but she's just been a big nothing on the main roster. She's never.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't win matches. Is chat room saying, in fact, she maybe hasn't won a match? I'm trying to think. When's the last match she even won on TV?
Since her injury, I don't think she's.
No, that
won,
doesn't.
right?
To be fair, that doesn't help. That does not
Yeah.
help a talent.
Yeah.
To be fair to her.
Yeah, this Stephen Martucciuli has a kind of a cool idea. Remember the WCW did this back in the day. They could use any number of Florida beaches as a location for SummerSlam. Cool backdrop. And then they're asking if you worked Mark Henry.
Oh my God, I was married to Mark Henry in OVW as he was my first tag team partner in my very first match. My very first match on Ohio Valley Wrestling Television. No pressure. Jim Ross was there to evaluate us. Brock Lesnar was there because it was like our, I guess, an OVW anniversary. He had just won the world title, and Jim Ross had me come into the back room after my match, where it was me and Mark Henry versus the Disciples of Sin, which was Mordecai later on and Travis Tomko. Really good tag team, actually, in OVW. Anyways, so me and Mark were just, I'm greener than grass. It's my first match. Mark wasn't exactly Daniel Bryan. So after the match, Jim Ross was like, sure, that might have been bowling shoe ugly. He goes, but Brock, you had some comments to make, on Matt during this. I'll leave the room. You want to chat with him, and that's like the very first time Brock started getting in my head about how to work big. And he didn't know me. He just met me earlier that day and shook hands like he would any of the other talents there. Back to Mark. I ended up working an entire summer against Mark Henry when he got moved back up to the main roster and would come back to Ohio Valley Wrestling to work with me, where he would now be the heel and I was the babyface. And I was the champion at the time, I believe. And he's another one. He's another one that did help me improve, but I would argue because of how big of a name he was. So if I could be in the ring with him and do well, then who else could? You know what I mean? It just really raises your confidence. Even if they may not have been a technical whiz in the ring or a 5-star wrestler and whatnot that everyone assumes you have to work with to get more confidence. You don't have to work with the Eddie Guerreros and the Dean Malenkos of the world in order to get your confidence raised.
Before we get back to Raw, have you been seeing the stuff with Lio Rush and Mark Henry?
No, I feel so out of touch right now with the world. I apologize.
Yeah,
Not
well,
what I meant.
You're mayor when there's a global pandemic going on, so it's understandable. But yeah, Lio Rush. I guess Mark Henry said that he tried to help Lio out with some of his backstage issues that he was having last year, and he said that he tried to help him out, basically saying that Lio wasn't taking his advice. So Leo's been calling him out on it. He said, keep my name. So Lio wrote, keep my name in your mouth if you please. You literally have nothing better to do than to continue to talk crap on a situation that happened over a year ago about a 25-year-old who just lost his damn job. Sorry guys, but I've been holding my breath for way too long. People like this need to get called out. It's sickening, disappointing, and extremely discouraging. I love my fans, and I pray that one day in the future, the state of this kind of matter progresses, and this is why African American talent on the biggest platform will continue not to have the same opportunity because people like you constantly tear your own people down. A damn shame, honestly. And so Mark Henry then went to TMZ Sports and said he's considering legal action for slander. So he said, Mark Henry said, he said something slanderous. You can't question my blackness. No one can pull my black card. No, not anybody. If you go down to the Performance Center in NXT, probably 25. I think people of color in the facility, maybe about 80% plus. I helped get them there. So it's completely the opposite. And for him to go there was the worst thing he could have done. And it's one of those things, if I take legal action for slander, then I will, but I'm not sure yet. So it's getting ugly between them.
Shame. Hate to see it.
Yeah. Man, so we had Asuka's celebration or championship celebration with Kairi Sane out there, interrupted by Nia Jax. Yep.
Nobody cares.
No. It'll be Nia Jax versus Asuka.
Wait,
okay.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah. Nia Jax versus Asuka will be a bad. This is my prediction. Better match than you think, but kind of a boring feud. So
I don't know who else you put with Asuka right now. Shayna might be too soon. You don't want to beat Shayna again, coming off of a loss to Becky. So yeah, I mean Nia, I guess makes the most sense.
R-Truth versus
NXT talent.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No. Well, where's Bianca Belair and all this? Where was Bianca during the axe throwing tonight?
They did a little vignette for her.
Did they? How did I miss that? When was that?
It was like a Progressive Insurance thing, and they featured Bianca Belair. It was like the Mountain Dew Slam of the Nights that they used to do, but it was like a little Bianca Belair vignette.
Okay. There you have it. So we had just really, you know what excited me more? The most exciting thing I saw on TV tonight was that commercial for the new season of that show, Holy Moly, with the miniature golf and the obstacle course. Why did nobody tell me the show existed? This looks like something I would watch the hell out of. That was the most entertaining thing. That 30-second commercial was the best thing I saw on Raw tonight. And I will watch the hell out of that show next month. It's miniature golf, Matt, with big obstacle courses. Who doesn't love miniature golf? Anyhow.
You watch the hell out of it. You go get them.
I will. I'm doing everything I can to stay sane right now, Matt. Yesterday, I finally watched the movie Torque for the first time. How come nobody told me Torque is like a fantastic, almost better than most of the Fast and the Furious films?
What's Torque? Is that a cartoon?
Oh, I didn't watch it.
It's like Fast and the Furious, but with motorcycles. It came out in 2004. Highly recommended. It's like a later Fast and the Furious movie that came out like right after the first Fast and the Furious. It's insane. I watched it yesterday. I'm still on a natural high from watching Torque. Torque. Torque.
QUE.
Yes. Hell of a film. Recommend that to anyone that wants to take their mind off the world we live in. But back to the reality of Monday Night Raw tonight. We had R-Truth versus Bobby Lashley. R-Truth cutting a promo about Tom Brady. 24/7 championship.
They did all this last week, didn't they?
Yeah, it's the same
Tom Brady stuff.
I thought they did.
Yeah. And then, Lashley beating him. He just took a little longer this week, but I mean, you got like 200 guys under contract. Can't you have Lashley beat someone new this week? Anyway. It's Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, chat room is making me laugh. Bobby Lashley won that match, as if I had to say that.
And he's with MVP, and
yes.
MVP was motivating him earlier, so Lashley, kind of destroyed him, and MVP came out after. So, yeah, they're a tandem.
And Lana threw a fit backstage, threw stuff around.
Those. Those are her. She's a good actress. She can really act, but when those tantrums, it just makes me want to change the channel.
Yes. Because, that is an example of the talent themselves being frustrated, annoyed, and not committing to it because they don't want to. It's ridiculous. Because you're correct. She is a good actress, actually.
Yes, as we saw in the Pitch Perfect films.
Me that she's just like, ugh, am I getting this again? Do I really have to do this again this week? Whatever, I'll just shut my mouth and just get this paycheck, and hopefully they'll give me something new next week. I'm telling you, I can sense it from the talent. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just saying I know I've been put in situations where I'm like, really, we got to do this. Like, not that it was bad writing, but it was lazy writing, and your oomph isn't in it. That makes you want to be a pro wrestler when you're a little kid and go on to become a 20-year-old something and live out that childhood dream, that same passion. It's one of those times when it becomes a job. And tonight for Lana, it was a job, and I don't blame her because that's lazy writing.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, man, it's got to be weird. Could you imagine working for a company for that long with your spouse, and then they leave and you're still there?
Oh no, role? I could not.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And knowing my wife, she'd be like, "What's taking you so long? Why are you still there? Let's go." Tell them vamoose, Matt. Tell them to kick rocks. Let's go. What are we doing? I thought we were in this together, Matt.
MK Don's 19 with the super chat. Thanks. He said, so nice to finally discover a stream with real people and proper opinions, not just looking for likes. Great to see Matt Morgan too. Has he even aged at all these last few years? Thanks, guys.
Well,
yeah,
it's true. 2004, Matt Morgan
Thanks
looks.
for coming out from under your rock.
I'm sorry,
Thanks
Matt.
for coming out from under your rock and discovering the best wrestling podcast in the biz, brother.
I was gonna say 2020, Matt Morgan looks younger than 2004 Matt Morgan somehow. Don't know what it is.
Oh, here we go. Chris Jones saying CJ Perry is a good actress. Lana is not. Yeah. CJ Perry is Lana's real name for those who don't know.
So,
I take back my laugh. I thought that said Tyler Perry. I take back my joke. You mark taking your cool writing her real name. Dork. All right, continue. Sorry.
Hey, Tyler Perry was very good in Gone Girl. I was very surprised by his performance in that.
I love Tyler Perry. I think he's. I honest to God think he's hilarious.
He was in Gone Girl?
Yeah.
Huh.
He legit is. Dude, he is like a master of disguise. Like, he is a good actor. He's in things you'll forget he was in because he's that good. And you're so used to him being in. What's the big one that he did that?
Medea.
What's that series?
The Medea.
Yeah, Medea is the best.
Wait, so your mom's a big fan of the Medea series?
Loves. And she was like, the cutest part was my mom was like a little bit, like a few years behind on it. And like, so she started like talking and making like one-liners from the movie. Like, I'm like, Mom, that was like 3 years ago. But everyone at work thinks I'm hilarious. I go, Mom, they're laughing at you, Mom. I'm just being honest.
There's something there, Matt. There's something there. This I'm more entertained by this factoid than anything we saw on Raw tonight. A lot to unpack. We had a women's tag team title match tonight. The Iconics versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Good to see the Iconics wrestling again.
Yes, I concur. I'm happy to see them back. I love that tag team.
And then after Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross won by DQ, so we had two backstage segments. One was Kairi Sane backstage alone playing her flute. That's a sentence in 2020 that actually happened on USA Network tonight. Nia Jax came from behind, launched her into production case, walked off while she was down, clutching her head. And then the Iconics were arguing backstage. Billy Kay says Peyton Royce blew their chance to get the titles back, and Billy slapped Peyton and immediately apologized for it.
I hope they're not splitting them up.
That was not. Me too, because they do have a similar look. You know what I mean? Like, they are, to me, the quintessential tag team.
Yeah, they play
really
well
are.
off each other.
Together, they really do. And together, as a whole, they're like, what's the saying? Sum of all parts, whatever you want to call it. I used to feel that way about the Bellas, though, to be fair. And they were able to go kind of sort of their own way a little bit, right?
Yeah, well, they started really getting their own distinct personalities in a way.
But they had an entire series, though, to display their differences that really made us, Yeah. But anyways, really quick about those two. Back to the stuff with the backstage with what's her name playing the flute?
Oh no, and it was a recorder.
Kyrie.
The chat room is livid with me right now. It was a recorder, not a flute.
Let's go, Scotty.
I can't.
Good Lord, people, you really need to get a life. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna straight shoot with everybody. If you have more than 5 comments in that chat room that said recorder and not flute,
it's more than 5.
You all really take a breather. Take a breather. Do one of these. Just don't. Let it go. Let it go. It's not going to change your world. It's not going to change your life, folks. Don't cut me off until I'm done.
Yeah.
Secondly, back to what we're talking about, Kairi Sane. I'm going to tell you how that was written, okay? That was a segment to get Nia over, correct?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, right? So it's, okay, well, what can Kairi be doing backstage? You can't just have her just randomly standing there. I don't know. What's her gimmick again? Well, she's a pirate, Vince, and she's like, does this pirate thing she used to do. Okay, well, let's just have her play like the recorder. That's what pirates do, I think, right? Like, that's literally the amount of energy and thought they put into that. And it just shows. It just shows in the smallest details. I'm being so serious that they put no brain power or thought into it because it's not meant to highlight her. right?
Yeah.
She was the beat up E in that segment, where I do think it matters in what these people are doing, even backstage. For as much money that they spend on this product, as much time as they supposedly put into it, again, when you have no fans in an arena, every single segment's got hit. If this was, I hate to say it, fans that are going to cry that I'm saying this, but if this was AEW and they did a backstage segment like this, I guarantee you there'd be more thought put into it.
Yeah.
With the detail part.
Yeah.
Just-
Tammy noting that
Not just laziness.
the Iconics can't be solo, and I agree 100%.
Yeah.
You really wanted to read Tammy's comment. You were.
And Leonzo
Tammy, I
Duncan.
think Raj has a thing for you.
Yeah. Leonzo Duncan saying, "Stop breaking up women's teams before you have none." It's just true. They have like 2 teams.
I mean, don't you think like they do look like a quintessential tag team?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought they looked, I don't know, I thought they've been looking better.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're really good. We saw what they could, but but we saw what they could do in NXT at their peak. They're talented.
Yeah, no, they were entertaining in NXT.
Yeah.
So we had Shayna Baszler versus Natalia in a submission match. This ended with Natalia tapping out to Shayna pretty easily.
Very predictable.
Yes.
And then after the match, Natalia threw a hissy fit, and she did last week too. So I guess that's a new gimmick for her.
Yeah. Which, you know who I just saw doing that, ironically, in 2002 on Raw? Christian. That was his gimmick for a little bit. And then Diamond Dallas Page, Positively Page, takes him up out of it by trying to teach him how to smile and think positively. And how it's not a bad thing they keep losing, but it's a good thing.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, Kevin Owens was back tonight. Kevin Owens show.
Yeah, his first appearance since WrestleMania. He had suffered that foot injury, and yeah, he's back.
Yeah. So, like, that's one of those deals where I was upset. I was frustrated they didn't have him back. He had a win in WrestleMania. Why is he not on television right away? And that's because of an injury, right, Raj?
Yeah. With KO, yeah, I think it was that spot he did, the big jump that he did at WrestleMania on Seth Rollins. He hurt his foot on that.
Oof. That was memorable. You got to give him that.
Mm-hmm.
And this led to Apollo Crews joining Kevin Owens. Kevin putting Apollo over as they teamed together against Andrade and Angel Garza.
Yeah, so Apollo was in that storyline injury. It wasn't a real injury, obviously. And so, yeah, he's back on TV now.
Austin Theory tried to interfere. He ended up rocking Andrade with a forearm instead of Crews. Crews and Owens won. Afterwards, the Zelina's stable beat up Theory. And
good. Good. They need to send him packing.
Well, they didn't. He was with another group by the end of the show.
Yes, because then we had Aleister
Of course
Black.
he was.
Aleister Black versus Murphy. And during this ended with DQ, Aleister Black winning. When Theory ran into the ring, attacked Black for the disqualification. And then after, Seth chose Austin Theory to be one of the new disciples of the Monday Night Messiah, one of his followers.
Yeah, the AOP were gone, so I guess they just felt like he needed more people.
Which is true. But would you not, like, no offense, if Rusev was still there, I would have brought him in to be my muscle.
Yeah. That'd be a good choice, yeah. Absolutely.
He has no muscle. How are you going to be a cult leader or a group leader and not have muscle? Again, Team Lesnar wasn't just a Survivor Series angle. That was supposed to be a 6-month angle. The Brock stable. Brock Lesnar does not need a stable, nor does he need heaters. But therein lies the heat. So every stable leader should have muscle to some degree. And he doesn't have any. So, I don't know.
Yeah, what was the last big stable that didn't have kind of the muscle. I mean,
And then
even Inner Circle, you got Jack Swagger, Evolution, you had Batista,
Yes.
Horseman. You had Sid for a while, Barry Windham. Yeah. Caden saying Theory and Murphy as a tag team is fire. I mean, they're
Is it really fire? Is it fire though? Is it really fire?
It's,
Is it really fire? Because I swear I just got watching Rob Van Dam, 2001, red hot during this invasion angle, right? And nobody was getting over, but this dude was getting the biggest pops of the night. I mean, huge pops. And WWE went out of their way to extinguish those pops on this guy. And I didn't catch on to it when I was a kid watching it. But not as a kid, but when I was younger. And going back to watching it now, dude, Rob Van Dam, when he first came to WWE, was fire.
Yeah.
The Rock is fire. Stone Cold is fire. Hulk Hogan in his prime is fire. Your little tag team is on fire.
Rico Larry, Theory looks like
start putting perspective on this. Sorry.
Rico Larry saying Theory
he
looks
does,
like
Rico.
a fitness YouTuber.
He's
I
right.
think. I mean, we'll see with Theory. He might have something. I'll have to give it time. But I think to establish Seth's group, you need some, like Matt said, either superstar or some muscle.
It's true. Austin Theory looks like he could lead like the wickedest Peloton class of all the trainers.
Dude, he looks like he should be. He looks like a long lost Blink 182 band member. That's what he looks like to me.
I think Blink 182 looks more hardcore than Austin Theory.
I'm gonna give him time because we'll see how he is on the mic. Because like someone like MJF, if you'd see just his face, you'd be like, he doesn't look like anything special at all. But once he puts everything together, he's a superstar.
But I have seen him in the ring. I have seen him speak. I saw MJF speak once. That was all it took.
But if you had MJF came out like how they've introduced Austin Theory and with the stuff that they've scripted for him, you wouldn't, you wouldn't see MJF in that light either.
You're right.
Like he was allowed to become his own character.
You're getting backlash in the chat room. I have a feeling right now, Raj.
No.
You are bending to the chat room.
Actually,
I can't read, so I don't know.
Nothing. No backlash right now.
Then I apologize.
The funny thing is the chat room
crazy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, the chat room's making comparisons to Undisputed Era. They're saying, well, Undisputed Era, and I'm like, yeah, that's the problem with Undisputed Era as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to like them so much because I really do like the leader.
Yeah.
See, I should remember his name immediately. Why am I struggling right now?
Adam Cole, baby.
Like, that's almost impossible to forget. How have I forgot that?
Yeah.
Folks, don't listen to any of my opinions. I'm losing my mind officially on the air as we continue to talk.
It happens to the best of us.
I do think Undisputed Era has gotten a little long in the tooth. Like, it's time for them to, I don't know, change members, disband, to do something.
I'm actually going to say they just need one more guy, and then Monday Night Messiah, it's essentially main roster Undisputed Era. Like, it's a bootleg of something that was kind of weak in NXT.
No. This is like a bootleg Wyatt family or a straight edge society, where he's a cult leader, bringing in minions to his group. The Undisputed Era, they were all friends. They were just a group.
So straight edge society.
I will point out. I will point out. Straight edge society had Festus as the muscle.
Yeah,
muscle
absolutely. And CM Punk played that role really well. He didn't seem like he was acting. Seth Rollins just you see that effort, where he's like really trying to slow down his speech and be cerebral, and it's just not. I'm not buying it.
Because a cult. Okay, so here's the thing about cults or religions or anything where you want followers. I don't care. We talk about Herbalife or Amway. I mean, anything where you want followers, you have to have like a message and a mission.
Right.
Okay, Wyatt was like, y'all don't see, man. Y'all don't know this reality, and I'm going to sit here and jibber jabber about 1,000 different things. But I had to think straight edge society, CM Punk, about being straight edge. You need like a thing, a gimmick. And what's the Monday Night Messiah? What's his mission? Oh, I'm going to remake Raw in my image. That's pretty lame.
Nothing.
Yeah. You guys YouTube.
Nothing.
YouTube CM Punk, Cow Palace, Straight Edge Society, and the heat he was getting with that gimmick was insane. Like they had to throw people out. It came close to, like they hit Undertaker's music prematurely because it was getting so heated in there. But yeah, it's just a weak order. Someone's saying the Dark Order as well. I find the Dark Order to be pretty weak.
Dark Order's got better marketing. Those videos really rehabilitated the Dark Order for a while.
Gosh.
For a minute, about that. They gave me 3 weeks. They did give me 3 weeks of not absolutely throwing up when they came on my screen. Those vignettes.
Yeah.
The vignettes were the best thing they did.
Yeah.
But
I like Brody Lee, but I don't like him in that. I think if he's in that group for too long, it's going to bring him down.
Yeah.
They're in a conundrum with that, though, because he has to play this Vince McMahon role, which is hilarious, and I pop for every time. But that's not really a cult leader.
Right.
When you think about it.
Right.
Just something, man. Just something.
And when you got just a bunch of enhancement talent in masks, it just, I don't know. You need, for a group to really work, you need some star power in there and some people that stand out.
Oh my God, wait a minute. Hang on. I'm so sorry, Raj. I just had this epiphany. Do you know what a group of enhancement talent wearing masks actually reminds me of?
Who was I thinking of? That Survivor Series where Jerry Lawler had a bunch of masked guys. Do you remember that? It was this.
No. It reminds me of a group of enhancement talent wearing face masks. That's what it reminds me of.
Not even
that's what they are.
Yeah. Like, why don't they pull like a Slipknot?
That's what they are. You're right.
But look at Slipknot. Look at even the Insane Clown Posse. Like, masks and makeup don't have to be lame if you try and give people characters and something to latch onto.
You know who had a cool mask and it just didn't work? When Johnny Stamboli came to TNA as Relic. Killer backwards, as I used to tell us. His mask, though, was awesome. He got it from the same guy that made Muda's mask in Japan.
Yeah.
It looked so great. Problem was Johnny was so damn jacked. You always knew it was Johnny Stamboli. He had such a definitive character for years in WCW and WWF that there was no putting. He tried to do something different. It just nothing was going to make him be different because he just the way he looked.
That was like
that mask was awesome. If you go back and look,
that was awesome. Do you remember when they did the menagerie in TNA?
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. You're like Rob Terry. You always knew it was him under a mask because that physique is just so.
Yes. Too big, too noticeable, way too impressive looking. They're like, "Ooh, gee, who's that?"
Yeah.
So we had.
Can I ask one last question? One
Sure.
last question. I'm so sorry about the masks. Do you think of today's day and age, like the way the internet is today, they know everything before it's going to happen and whatnot? Do you think Kane would have been able to pull off Kane? Or would people be going bonkers? Like, wait a minute, that's fake Diesel. That's the dentist. That's Unabomber. People were doing that. Hey, I think that's Unabomber, But Unabomber was his
that was his gimmick.
Yeah. But do you know what I mean? Do you think it would have worked?
Well, the fact that Bray Wyatt was able to make it work with Husky Harris, after Husky Harris, and he did get the Husky chance the first time, but it was such a cool gimmick that
with the mask, mask part of it though, of not recognizing who they were before.
I mean, even back then, most people knew. Again, at least on the internet, maybe enough people didn't know watching. But back then, you had a lot more mainstream fans and not the hardcores. And so I still think it could have worked because again, Bray Wyatt's, I don't know, it's different. He's doing it with the Fiend, but that's different. You're supposed to know it's him.
True. Go ahead,
oh no, I mean, why am I?
Someone's bringing up Aces and Eights as another group that they were all under masks, and no one remembers everyone except for Bully Ray.
Ken Anderson. Eric Bischoff's kid. Good point. Garrett Bischoff. What's his name? The other guy's kid. Come on, Briscoe. Wes Briscoe.
Oh, Wes Briscoe.
Who looked like $1 million. He had such a great look.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's kind of right actually with that same analogy. Now that I think about it, good call.
So that axe throwing contest, huh? Kept cutting back to that tonight.
Yeah.
You're making me spit my food out.
I mean, do you want to recap it real quick? What happened? Let's just finish the axe throwing.
They played
it
grab
ended
ass.
here, right?
They played grab ass for a couple segments, and then finally they were going to go do it, and the cops showed up. And then one of the cops had a crush on one of the Viking Raiders, so didn't write him a ticket. And like that's
That was
all,
that.
folks. Yeah.
Yeah, the cop came and they threw an axe and it hit the windshield. So
Yeah.
that was the thing. And yeah, I mean, it was you know what? It wasn't as bad as it.
No, it was. They put more effort into
Yeah.
this than anything else on the show tonight.
Yeah.
And then the main event.
All right, though.
Matt, you got anything?
Just want to point out we've lowered our expectations tremendously.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
pointing this out of why we're putting this segment over to the fan cone. Well, did you watch the same crap we just watched? Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
want to
know.
be positive on something on this show. So I'll
don't
just
know.
I'll just
Yes.
leave it
Yeah.
for that.
Watch that commercial for that miniature golf show. I'm telling you, you'll agree with me. That was the best thing on tonight. This main event for the first time ever: King Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
As Raj would say, it was there.
I didn't want to say it, so thanks for saying it. Considering Drew's the world champ, Baron is main evented pay-per-views. He's been in the main event of a couple of pay-per-views. This did not feel like a big deal at all, and I don't know.
Again, it's because of no fans, and Baron plays big time. Big time, his character works off those fans.
Mm-hmm.
Tough. He's in my opinion, guys like him get affected the most out of this.
Mm-hmm.
No fan arena stuff.
Yeah, and they come across as just campy and not like a star, not like a big heel.
But hang on. One other thing, you guys, is this. You think about this. The heat he generates in front of these live audiences in these arenas across the country, they hate him.
Mm-hmm.
Again, right now, 2002 Raw, right now, X-Pac is getting that heat. They boo him from the minute his music plays in the matches with Stone Cold. They're not chanting Stone Cold. They're booing X-Pac. Is one I just watched today, which I was like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But my point is, it makes the babyface even that much more. So Drew, who you're building as this great champion, really is losing working a Baron Corbin without fans there to boo the crap out of Baron. Get off our screen. We don't want to see you. We hate your guts. We hope you die, Baron Corbin. We can't wait for Drew to put you in your place. Like, we don't get that. I should say Drew doesn't get that either. It really hurts. This no fan stuff really, really hurts a lot of these characters.
Yeah.
I agree with
And
that.
their development.
Yeah. I feel bad for Drew because he's such a, this should be his time. And
right.
it's, yikes.
As Alonzo Smith saying, Drew's a champ and a babyface is boring. I mean, it does feel not a lot there.
He needs a big name.
It sucks. I think I want to lie about it. I do. I just want to lie about it because I love Drew. I'm happy for him. I just wanted to say that this was a 5-star match. All fans should go back and watch this. We got to be honest, and it's not his doing. It's just not. But I feel like if we don't take up for him, if it keeps going this way, he's going to get labeled, a certain way as a champion, and I don't think that's fair.
Right.
I agree with that. And Bobby Lashley and MVP were looking on, so this is setting up Lashley versus Drew as we went off the air after Drew beat Corbin.
Yeah. So
I like that.
yeah.
Sure.
So they're doing this, this brand to brand invitational thing. So these are the actual rules.
Yep.
The wrestler can only appear on the opposite brand 4 times a year. And it only, here's one for Justin. It only applies to Raw and SmackDown. NXT is not included. So for all those who argue that NXT is the same thing as Raw and SmackDown as far as the main roster.
In your face, Justin LeBar.
Here you go, Justin.
Right? That's Justin's big thing that
Yeah,
he
it
says
is.
NXT's on the same level.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we can't call it that anymore. No, we can't call it a third party. It's not the tertiary. It's not the tertiary show anymore. No, it's not. It's on the same level as Raw and SmackDown. No, Glenn, you can't say it that way. It's not developmental anymore. Nope.
That was a very good Justin LeBar
In your face,
impression.
Justin. Hey, Justin. Hey, Justin. You see what this is? This means face. We're playing basketball. I just dunked on you, and I'm doing this to you.
Face moded, even. Moded.
Yeah, remember that?
So
God, the dorky things we used to do.
It was a simpler time.
So what brand is Flair? Good question. She's NXT, but she's like the one that's allowed to be on pretty much any show right now. So without much of an explanation either.
Why? Okay, why even make an explanation?
I
You're
know.
not going to stick to it.
Right. It's going to be forgotten in like 2-3 weeks.
Just say yes, just say they're here because we said so.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
What
It's
else?
like
do we
they
have going
can't
on?
explain to the audience that they're having to make changes because of this pandemic, and they have to, and they have to overthink things. Just
Yeah.
say, because of this pandemic,
Say it.
not all the talent are
Yes.
here, so we're going to do a talent exchange. And so over the next,
There you go.
till things open back up, you'll be seeing talent from all the brands. It's not hard.
And honestly, I think when you're transparent and honest like that, I do think people get behind you more. I really do. People like to get behind things that are kind of struggling or fighting from underneath or in a tough situation. Even big bad WWE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just be honest.
Yeah.
Tell them.
I agree. Yeah, I guess someone saying that one dude 89 saying they keep saying that she's on Raw with Charlotte. So yeah, it's almost like she's a Raw
Really?
person that just happens to also be NXT champion.
On the NXT.
Anyway, that was the show. Easily skippable. I'd watch the
was
Undertaker documentary again.
So good. That was so good.
WWE, they're so good at this stuff. I wish they would incorporate some of that somehow into this into their shows.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't right now, listen to me, wouldn't right now be the time if you work for WWE and you work, not as a producer, but maybe as a director or something there backstage, creative, wouldn't you be going like, this is my chance? This is my chance to really step up and maybe, try some crazy things that normally I wouldn't be able to try or suggest and get shut down right away. But right now, our ratings are terrible. Right now is a chance for me to really do some of my crazy, wild ideas that people probably would have laughed at me a year ago trying to bring up. But now it may work because we need something off the beaten path right now desperately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you think that they'd be thinking that way?
I would have assumed that the Raws and SmackDown would have looked so much different than right after WrestleMania by now, because of how much the ratings have been falling and everything, that they would be trying new things, and it has looked the same. Outside of them not having the chairs in the front row and changing where the hard cam is, which they did after like the first week or two, it looks exactly the same.
They copied it. Let's really rile the chat room after they copied AEW. doing it. that'll ignite it.
Well, do you think?
seriously,
I was going to ask you, do you think that they're not going to put the wrestlers in the stands because it might look like they're copying AEW? Like they'd rather have the product be more boring than look like they're copying AEW.
Maybe.
I hope they're not that prideful in watching a ratings tank in the middle of that.
I don't see why they're
Oh
not
my
doing
God,
it.
I
Then.
hope they're not.
I mean, they clearly have, with the axe throwing
know.
contest, they're fine with having a bunch of people out there.
There's something to this that we just don't know the answer to, I think. I think it's something with the arena you said, indoor versus outdoor. But then again, AEW did this in their Atlanta show. That was an indoor arena.
Yeah, but that was taped. That was taped in April
At a training
before
school?
Georgia shut down, and
Oh,
yeah,
good call. Good call.
and Georgia's open again now. But as far as doing empty arena shows,
So what else do we got?
I don't have an answer to that.
yeah. Not much else. It's actually, in theory, it doesn't feel like there's a big pay-per-view coming up on Saturday, but it's a big week. We got AEW Double or Nothing this Saturday. Mike Tyson's going to be appearing, presenting the TNT title to the winner Cody versus Lance Archer.
That's
What else?
Huge, by the way.
Yeah. Let's get a couple more of these super chats. Eddie Omeng saying, do you think we should have heels or faces?
I think that's an excellent question, Eddie. I really do. Because who's there to boo them, right, is what he's assuming. Nobody being in the arena. But I would argue that puts more onus on the talent to work that camera even more than ever. And what I don't like about WWE is they have their talents not work the camera that's on them when they come out for their entrances, and that you're only taught to work the hard cam from time to time. I would argue now you got to let that rule fly out the window, because it's imperative that talents make the connection with us at home watching to make sure that we are in our own heads and not hating somebody and really liking fails.
Yeah, unless he is asking, like, should you just get rid of the concept of heels or baby faces? And I don't agree to that, because the whole premise of pro wrestling is the storyline, the good versus evil. It's like an action movie. So, yeah, I still think we should. And Rojo Bear 24 with the $2 super chat saying Baron Corbin has never been a big deal.
No, I mean, they've tried to make him one, and I think he's good at what he does. It's just unfortunate that I just don't think he's been stuck in a rut too much. Like these long, never-ending feuds that he gets in, I think of what killed him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think Matt's phone might have died or something there.
We did not talk about Drew Gulak.
Oh, yeah. Real quick, Ryan Manley with the $1.99 super chat saying Matt missed out Friday night. Yeah, we had a little party on the Friday night show. So if you haven't checked it out, check out our SmackDown recap on Friday. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, Drew Gulak. That feels like that was a week ago, but it just happened on Saturday. Yeah. Drew Gulak, his contract was coming up and apparently expired last week. He apparently was asking for a raise and wanted more money with his new deal, and WWE just decided to pull their deal. So Drew Gulak he wasn't even released. His contract expired, so he can wrestle tomorrow. He could appear at AEW Double or Nothing if he wanted, if they came to a deal on Saturday. So
he should.
Well, again, it's AEW. They're not making a ton of money right now either. I don't know how many, guys you want to be signing to contracts right now. So, but it would be kind of a get, for like 1 week he's on WWE television and he's on your show the next. So that's the kind of stuff you'd see all the time, though, during the Monday Night Wars.
I mean, what a match to go out on. That match with Daniel Bryan on Friday was incredible.
Yeah. So Brandon Hall, that was what happened with Drew Gulak. Brian Berry asking, will Sting show up Saturday at the AEW pay-per-view? He's not supposed to be. But it would be, I think they're paying for Mike Tyson. I don't know if you would need to do Sting on the same show. I think that would probably be overkill. But I could easily see Sting doing something with AEW now that he's no longer under contract with WWE.
Which is so weird. I mean, I just think with the theatrical stuff especially, Sting versus Undertaker, like this is the best time for that to happen.
Yeah. No, doing a Boneyard thing with them I think would be awesome.
Yeah. But,
maybe the whole thing with this Undertaker series is the very last episode. He says he's really retired.
Maybe.
It kind of seems like it kind of seems like it's leaning in that kind of a direction.
Well, the show's called The Last Ride.
Right. So.
Yeah. And as Ryan Manley's pointing out, they are teasing a mystery man for the ladder match.
Yeah.
Drew Gulak. So we'll see, man. This was a tough night tonight. I'm glad we made it through this.
Yeah. Yeah. And thanks to Matt for coming on. One of his friends. Nothing official yet with Shad, but it's definitely not looking good. And but keep his family and friends in your thoughts and prayers. And
I was going to tell Raj this after we go off the air. I know Matt was having some audio troubles, so I will publish the audio podcast tonight, Raj. I'm going to go through and see what I can do to boost some of the levels when Matt was talking about Shad at the beginning before he fixed his mic, because I think I could hear him. He was cutting in and out, or he was getting quieter a bit. But I think, what he says deserves to be heard and heard clearly by as many people as possible. So if you're watching live or watching the video and had trouble at the beginning, I will do my best to boost that audio in the published audio version that's going online.
And Matt's back. Matt, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right. Do you?
How about now?
Yeah.
Did I what?
Matt, did you have anything you'd like to plug or anything like that?
No.
So on Wrestling Inc., we had a loaded week. We had Psycho Sid Vicious, an exclusive interview with him, a rare one. He doesn't do many interviews. Deano Parazzo. We had Kofi Kingston last week, which is one of the rare ones we get to do with the WWE guy, because WWE can be really picky with it. Heath Slater. So keep checking out Wrestling Inc.
Okay.
That's pretty good. That says a lot about your site. The WWE's doing interviews with you. That's really good, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, they go hot and cold with the internet sites, with the wrestling sites.
Well, all that talent sitting at home, what are they doing right now?
Yeah.
So Wednesday night, me, Matt Morgan, Justin LaBar back here to talk AEW Dynamite, the Go Home Show 4, Double or Nothing, and we'll also talk about some NXT. See how it goes this week. Last week, lowest rated AEW ever last week, Raj?
Yeah, lowest rated AEW, one of the lowest rated NXTs. The combined number was the lowest ever. They were up against the UFC that really tore into them in the males 18 to 49, but still is a bad number for both. Really bad for AEW that week.
Yeah.
There you go. Everyone wants to know, Matt. I'm assuming the answer is no, but you didn't catch Friday night's Wrestling Inc. With the drinking crew that we had on this show. We were all a little tipsy. Raj made an appearance, but Matt, I think you would want to know that he couldn't make it 5 minutes into the podcast without name dropping Ryback.
Yeah. Anyhow,
folks, look, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane.